white wall boys otherwise ke batho ba di low rights. Maserati. Yo.
Such an expensive car. Why but say a chance?
Legoale, also known as LSG or Bogete from Mohlakeng, and I'm a white hole boy. What a pimpa di koloi.
Mina uncool Lego, David. Ngaphandle bangibiza umdeva.
Kelezitse Ramfontein Primary and then went to Westridge High. Went on to study audiovisual, multimedia, but I didn't finish off my studies because I got caught up in starting off this business.
I went to a primary school called Yuval Boys. From Yuval Boys, they've moved me to Forest Town School because they found out I've got learning disabilities. At first, it was a problem because Walby's a special kid. My parents were very supportive. It's a privilege that I can use more of my left brain. They don't force me to use my right brain. I've noticed that I love doing stuff with my hands.
Me and my cousins, we've always liked cars. Since really Ntoana, so my cousins, ke bone ka bone ba hlola ba faka sound the screen mo transi, and then I was like, you know what, this is for me. So I used to do that to my mom's car as well, and I remember the very first car she got, nearly tears, you know. Ka tlhatlamolla di speaker tsa ko ntlong, ka di faka mo transing, you know, just thinking that it will sound louder.
Ha ke checka koloi ke re ke mosebetsing, ka thola e kentswe di speaker ko morago. Say di kima tse sa doof. And I was like, you know what? E ke koloi yaka, so o tlo busetsa. Se o se krele mo koloing, o tlo ntsha di doof tse tsa gago, o busetsa yaka.
Lesego one day said, you know what, he wanted a car, you know, and the same as David.
They didn't have money to buy me a car then. Then what happened is my mother had a car called Limpopo, a Ford Cortina. Then I went to go take that car, go Petersburg. Then I brought it here.
I think Mengshai grade 11, and I wanted a car in matric. Towards the end of my matric, but I wasn't driving it much because I had a license and all of that. And then and she was happy with that. And then I finally got the car.
Tazzy took it from nothing and he made it something. David did his own interior.
I took the disco light, put it in the Ford Cortina, had the screen, the computer inside, had butterfly doors, just to have something that's cool, but it's not expensive.
I remember there was a time I had about 8,000 that I saved up. And I was like, okay, Teza, I have an option. Buy engine incha or get a hinge. The vertical hinges, chincha munyako. He was like, buddy, go for the hinges.
Let's go for the doors. Do something that's unique.
That's unique.
Atla mo gae, ampontsha mabati a koloi. And I'm like, what? Mo koloing yaka? E busetse.
The first time when I got shouted, I took enamel paint. I painted my tires.
He wanted to do a white wall, but he didn't know where do you get the right stuff. And he took enamel, yamamagage.
When I showed my dad, like, what do you think? He says, what are you doing? Are you right upstairs? From there on, I was like, I'm doing what, it's my fantasy. From there on, you just went beyond and beyond because you're exploring. But the only thing is, that time it's a fantasy. And parents that time, they're not accepting because they want to teach you reality. But how do you be in reality if it's not real to you? You need to just have that little bit of fantasy so you can start enjoying reality.
When people saw the air suspension, they were amazed. Something that they've never seen, they always see it on TV and it's overseas. That's where White Wall Boys started actually growing. I'm telling you, we were bowling, my man. So everywhere we would go, it will be like the center of attention. You know, people would leave what they're doing, but they would join, you know, and just explore the cars.
Whatever we started doing, people start loving it. Then eventually it started turning into a business.
People were fascinated by the White Walls, even the name, branding ourselves as White Wall Boys because we were popular via the White Wall. Initially, it was never meant to be a business. I think that's why we're still having trouble maintaining it as a business. It's always been a fantasy for us that we live. It still doesn't make sense to me. Till this very day, it's like, it's too good to be true. We all view car customization differently, but in essence, you get a car, factory standard, you actually give that car your personality.
Customizing it actually says a lot more about me. It goes as far as lebitso. This car gives Lebobi meaning a beautiful woman.
Customizing is putting those Ferrari doors, Lamborghini doors, changing the color, putting proper sound system, putting bigger engines, modifying exhaust, you know, for the sound.
White Wall Boys, what do we do? We do stuff that's not really done anyway. We take a fantasy and we make it a reality.
Mo ke ona mmerogo White Wall Boys ba we rileng ko mathomong koloi nele like ele a whole fan. So that is why I felt horona le need ya hore kire something ga yona ka mo morao ka because nele both thing e kholo thata spare wheel is le exposed le sona eng. So hex no isa kwale e be lore David in twirileng wa bona o irile a bit of minibar here and then le this oak thing it is a mo le yona ke I'm very happy ka yona. Gona le if u ka tlhokomela mo gona le di UV lights if you guys wanna at night kona mo lore you can actually get the view epila ya thing and then e be lore ke need a subwoofer and then obviously ka moraga mola ena le di amplifier tse lore di supporta the music system.
For a business we didn't go to school. The advantage, I think, on my side, it was that, especially in terms of nezandla zemfe. That's what I call them. That's what they say, nezandla zemfe. I do anything, you know. Whatever I touch, I know how to mold it. I know how to make it look good. It doesn't matter what it is, you know.
He's more hands-on. I mean, power tools, Zanghlul. And then that would piss him off sometimes because he would be doing something, I'll be saying, We're like, no, I know what I'm doing. But I'm like, wrong.
Play with the grain. I'll play around.
Like about 2 weeks ago, here's a scar, and I wasn't there. That's why, because in Shalam Kuz, I get Wabona with some
working at my workshop because issue equipment or because equipment is expensive. I'm very particular now when it comes to quality. So they came to me, Kasheba, the quality of the work. Hey, David, hi, gents. I love what you're doing. Hey, the quality, man. In a very nice way. Because you know when they were doing that, critical in a way. So I came in as that third person to critique them and show them how now we didn't pay for this. There's a serious. Yeah, no. Standard
We started off, we didn't make much profit.
Yeah.
We didn't. We'd work. Grind down. But when you look at the profit, you're like, you're not making much.
But it's what you love.
But when that car leaves, it's like, yo, white old boys, we never insane. We this and that. So that kept us going like, oh, okay. So vele and touring
in terms of pricing the customer, it was difficult for them. Because okay, for this job, how much did you charge? Then they tell me I'm going to charge the labor, the hours that will go through. It means by the end of the project, so I taught them as well in terms of pricing, how to price a project.
There's no manual on how to fit hinges or how to fit air suspension the way we fit air suspension. It's not, we don't just buy the kit as it is. We take bits and pieces, and then David will go buy a remote, a gate, and then he'll take a computer box from an electrical shop. And then we'll experiment. It's all chaliant, and it's not cheap. It's not like it's cheap stuff. It's quite pricey.
But you wouldn't know what you're doing if you don't give it a try and learn. And I
remember at some point, David was like, I'm tired, buddy. I'm cartel. I'm safuni nix. Let's stop everything. I'm like, Sesila, sesibelile sahamba wena ufuna ungazodlala wena hamba phumula yabona go sleep it off, you'll be fine. Because obviously he gets irritated if he cannot get something done right. Till this we're still experimenting, but when it comes to a customer's car, funny enough, we do things right.
Yeah.
I don't know how we get that, but we do things right.
Mistakes, it doesn't matter what car is it. The mistake by you trying to fix that mistake, most of the time it's like a masterpiece because you're trying to hide that mistake. Because I can't school for this. If you are scared to make mistakes, what's gonna happen?
It's very important to do something you love, because the minute you do something you love, you go far beyond the financial side of it.
If you love something, you're not driven by chelete. You are driven by the passion. Your passion will sustain you through it.
I got a phone call. A guy said I wanted to do limo doors. And what's the price of the limo doors? Then I said to him, it depends what car it is, Then he said a Maserati. Hey. I had Uvalunyana, but I always follow my conscience. It was an opportunity. It came, I grabbed it.
He called me. He's like, got the toilet call. There's a customer. He urgently wants to do Lambo doors on a Maserati.
There's cars that come that he doesn't want us to touch.
I'm like, but buddy, we don't touch cars like that. We're not ready. It's like, but you always say we're not ready. When are we ever gonna be ready? I'm like, okay, let's do research.
We made research to see if there's any Maseratis that have done limo doors. But funny enough, we couldn't even find even one, even in the net.
It's something new. It's the price tag alone. It's intimidating. Can we even afford to make mistakes?
There's a called me Maserati. Yo, and so like, are we not biting more than we can chew? And so everybody like, oh sure. Well, I mean that car is expensive.
Lesego didn't want to tell me because he hid it as a surprise, you know? Or you know what, bro, come, we've got a huge project on our shoulders that we want to nail. I got there was this 1.5 million, you know, car standing there in the garage, you know? And then when I checked that car and I was like, "Ay, Buffett, this is not real, Joe." You know? You know, we call it the devil's fork.
Then ngaqala ke wasikiwa siungathi tez ndoda, like you look at it,
I wanted to see what $1 million car looks like. I needed to strip it.
like it's just a car, it's just a car.
Samount hinge emnyango.
But he says it's so simple. It sounds like it's very, you know, the door comes off, if I had to count 20 times in line, the door comes on and off, on and off, on and off the car. Because even the adjustment on its own, it's not enough, the door has to come off. Jimmy, we call you Jimmy. Because this door, it's heavy.
It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's just that we've got the guts to face it no matter what, and you just deal with it, you know. It had its own experience and its own challenges, but overcoming that, it just put us on another level.
What we have learned from this whole experience is that fear will kill your dreams.
It was exciting. We done it. The customer was happy. The hinge looked like it came straight from the factory.
I didn't even think that it landed into holo until it says little Arma Zomoraka newspaper. I get a newspaper. There he was, Le David. I saw the Maserati, but I was like, yo, really now? Such an expensive car. Why but say a chance? I was like, wow, these guys will go places.
Today, we back Mokasi, Mohlakeng. We're not at the workshop. Basically, what we're here to do is we're going to showcase some of our stuff, our work, where it's just a drop in the ocean. Not all the cars, 1 or 2 different styles, and what we've been doing at the workshop as well. And we chose this location being our shop, where is Harso, but I think David will explain much more about that.
Basically, what we'll be doing here, it's going to be a showroom where we're going to showcase our work. Basically, we're going to have a chopped up car that will have air suspension, to the paint work, to everything that we do, basically. Remote starter, you know, we're going to have a scooter that will be our generator, but it will have a remote starter. We've got some paintings of some of the work, some of the cars that we have done. And the nice thing about the actual shop, there's history behind it. It was my grandfather's bicycle shop in the 60s. When you look at up there, it says keep pushing. And it used to be a bicycle shop. When you look at the rim, it's still a bicycle rim. It's just showing the evolution, how it has changed from bicycles to cars, you know, but you're still pushing the same movement. These are the bicycles that my grandfather used to repair and do back in the 60s, you know. It's the love of the game, pushing the wheel.
Right there we have the Maserati Gran Turismo. It came in a bad condition in terms of paint and the wheels and everything. The bumper was in a bad condition as well. So with this car, we just fully refurbished it. We did the wheels, we did the Lambo style doors, and we did the grills and the bumper. Dodge Monaco, one of the cars that has history Mokasi as well. Owner ke Manyane Diale. But it's his father's car, and this car has so much history. I'm also linked somehow because my uncle and my aunt got married kakoloi ena. We fully refurbished this car from engine, paint, interior. Ngalena ke Pontiac Grand Parisian. We painted it. Reshaile suspension, reshaile roof as well. There's a nice design, nice pattern on the roof, and we put a new carpet on it.
White Wall Boys, kilega ba bona mo TV le mo di newspaper, Spanish sa bone, and then kara decide to ke itlise mo ba tlo nshapela yona. I fitla mo bone fitlile lore I think in me for about 15 years. Re sa SABC me fela go ntle, and then these guys ba tla ba sheba, they revitalized the whole thing by spray, and what I can tell you gore machitaba ba shapa Spanish sa bone, and they are doing a very, very, very wonderful job, because all those memories I ke bona transiena diaboa when I think of the old days.
Bana le passion ya ntho ba etsang.
In the future, I want White Wall Boys to be on top. The dealership wants to be customizer.
There's already customers coming from KZN, Cape Town, Free State, Polokwane. In 5 years' time, probably they will delete in the workshop, but I White Wall or something.
Mina, ngathanda ukubona speti dealership.
Serving companies like your J&B as well, your Wine, your 4th Street, bringing their cars to us. Saying, do your thing,
marketing,
you know.
cars and so on.
Yeah.
That would be very nice to tap into that market as well, whereas you create the marketing car for brands. You know, that would be very nice.